Well, folks, now that I've got my awesome tool cart built, I was planning on, starting maybe some kind of cool, fun project, but I also keep chickens as a hobby, another one of my many hobbies, and the rats have become out of control out in the backyard. They're starting to show up in the daytime, and that just won't fly at our house. The wife won't even go outside anymore, so she says, deal with the rats, dealing with the rats. Matthias had invented a mouse trap and then tried to upsize it to create a rat trap out of it, and he considered it a failure, but another YouTube user called Sean Woods used a very similar idea, maybe the same one, and improved on it by putting it into a garbage can so the rats would have to be channeled correctly onto the trap, and then it worked great. So that's what I'm going to build today. Gotta make the wife happy, right? Alright.
Alright, so I've resized the plans and printed them out, and here I'm cutting out the individual pieces so that I can glue those onto the wood and use them as a template for cutting out the pieces. This is some spray adhesive I'm trying out. I actually put too much on this. It's supposed to be repositionable, which it kind of is, but when you put too much on the wood and the paper, it sticks too good. But later on, I realized that if you just put it on the paper and you let it tack up for about 15 seconds and then put it to the wood, it comes off really easy. Now I'm just cutting out that piece as much as I can on the table saw, and then I'll do the rest with my jigsaw. Using some two-sided tape so that I can stick these two pieces together, and then when I go drill the holes, that all the holes line up correctly from both sides. This is one of those yard sign stands, and I cut off one of the legs. It's really heavy gauge wire, and it works perfect for the axle on the trap. Then I use my drill index card to find the right size drill bit. The plans call for a solid piece of wood to be cut out to this particular shape, but I just used 3 pieces of plywood, a 3/4 inch piece, a 1/2 inch piece, and then a 1/4 inch piece. And of course, when I rescaled this to a larger size, I didn't have a proper size hole saw, so I just used the closest one that I had and then cut close to it. Now you can see how that adhesive spray works when you apply it properly. It comes right off. Here I'm laying out where the hole for the axle should go. I was worried that between rescaling the plans and then not using a solid block of wood for that trap piece, that the hole on the plans wouldn't line up, so I just mocked it up and then used a nail to punch the hole. And I didn't have a long enough drill bit to get all the way through, so I had to drill it from both sides. I used a flashlight to make sure that the hole was aligned. Now I'm ready to cut the plexiglass for the ramp piece, and it slips underneath the fence, so I had to clamp this board there so that would fix that problem. And then I put in my zero clearance insert to reduce the chip out from the backside, and I'm ready to cut. The plans actually have the spacer built onto the block, but I just used a washer and a small nut.
Well, here it is, folks. The rat's worst nightmare. I think it turned out pretty good. I just took the free plans that Matthias Wandel puts out on his site from ICE. I increased the size by 200% and printed them out. Taped all those pages together and then used that for the template. I think it seems a little big, but we got some pretty big rats here. So I think it's about right. I have it set pretty heavy. I had to look up on the internet what the average weight of a rat was, and apparently it's 8 ounces for a brown rat, which is what we have here. So that's what I have, an 8-ounce bottle of this slime Fix-A-Flat stuff. So I use that to test it, and it triggers just a bit over halfway. And so it works great. If that ends up being too heavy, because it feels pretty heavy, but I don't know. I don't hold rats all day long. Then there's an adjustment screw here in the back. There's a magnet here and this screw, and you can turn it in and out to increase the distance. But it's really sensitive. Like just a quarter turn, it moves it back a full inch or two. So it's really sensitive, the adjustment. And then this is the modification that Sean Woods recommends, and he used a garbage can that has a lid on it and then cut a hole in the side, but I figured a bucket on top like this would work great. I put the peanut butter in the back, so there's nothing on the ramp itself. They have to go in, and then this slides right over the top. I originally tried to do some kind of Tom and Jerry comic arch top hole like you see in the cartoons, but that doesn't leave room for the counterweight here square, so it's got to be able to clear, and this doesn't catch or anything, so it worked out fine. It still channels the rats down Death Alley. You only got to go in from here, and they can't get to the bait from the sides, so that should be the big improvement that the other people were having problems with this particular design for rats. Anyway, thanks for watching. Subscribe, leave me a comment, tell me what you think. Like the video, that would really help. Thanks for watching.